What's going on, YouTube world? This is your guy, Sealz the man, as always, and I'm happy to be back with y'all. I just wanted to give y'all an update on my slight absence. There has been a lot going on in my family. My mom contracted COVID-19 past few weeks. It's been pretty tough for you guys, but I'm still here. You know, I would never leave y'all alone. You know, y'all my family now, and I just want to give y'all some transparency about, you know, what's going on right now. So I found out once again that my mom had caught COVID from her co-worker. She was training, and she was able to get back home, but once she got home, she collapsed. And my mom doesn't live in the same city or even the same state as me and my immediate family, so it was pretty crazy because I had to go find what hospital she was at, you know, in her state. She wasn't able to tell me or tell my grandmother, her mother, what hospital she was at before she, you know, passed out, you know. So I had to go on a search. I was calling hospitals all around the area that she resided in, and it was mad. It was maddening, but you know me, my faith is strong. In times like this, it made me and it made my faith even stronger, you know. And one of the last hospitals I called, she was there, and thank God I found her. And but that was just the first step. So then I found out that she was struggling. She was struggling with it, and the COVID-19 brought on pneumonia. And not just any pneumonia, double pneumonia in both of her lungs, and a host of other really bad things, bad diseases and stuff like that. And, you know, I didn't come here to you know, make y'all day or night worse. You know, everybody has been affected by COVID-19 in some way, but I didn't come here to you know talk about that specifically. I wanted to, as always, try to bring value to y'all, right? I always say a man has to be able to learn how to communicate, express what's going on in his mind and in his spirit, to be able to be a fully functioning man, a fully functioning human, a fully functional partner, father, lover, right? So I got to be a man of my word. And one of the biggest problems I had with this, besides my mom being so sick, was that the last conversation we had before she got sick, it was not pleasant. We got into a little disagreement about something that, now that I think about it, it was pointless. You know what I'm saying? It was petty on both our parts, but I'm not even gonna speak on her part. I'm gonna speak on my part. It was petty on my part, you know. So we didn't talk for weeks, you know. Just thinking about it now, I'm just thinking like, man, I really could have messed up big time, you know. So just fast forward a little bit. My mom, she's doing better. She's doing better. It's going to be a slow process. The doctor says 60 to 90 days. So she's going to make it, you know. But it didn't have to be that way, you know. It could have been the total opposite result, right? My mom could have not been here, you know. She definitely could have passed away from this. She had COVID-19 and double pneumonia. And I'm sitting here just dreading on the fact, just thinking on the fact that the last words I said to my mother were not things that I would be able to live with if she passed on, right? So we have to, I'm not even gonna say we, I had to come back to myself and fix myself. I had to apologize, you know. I had to be real. I had to be sincere. I had to break down that ego, that male ego, and I had to remember what a real man does, right? So I was able to finally talk to my mom, call her. Her voice is like so, you know, cracking and messed up, and I'm just on the phone, you know. I'm just, you know, I totally forgot what we were mad about, and I feel like she forgot what we were mad about too. And it just shows you the significance of your loved ones, right? And how much that outweighs whatever y'all were mad at each other for. I always say, if you get in an argument with someone and you forget what it was even about the next day or even the same night, then it wasn't worth it. So yeah, I was just dreading on the fact that this could have been one of the worst, no, it would have been the worst regret I would have had to live with for the rest of my life. And I was thinking about all the people who lost someone during this time, during 2019 to now, with this COVID thing, that may have had an argument or unpleasant words, and those are their last words to their loved ones. I can't even imagine that pain. I can't imagine that type of grief. That is another type of grief. The worst type of pain, the worst type of regret is the one that you cannot fix. And once that person is gone, it cannot be fixed. So I was just thinking to myself, I love this woman. I love my mother more than our problems or our issues. I love the presence and the company of my mother more than the absence or the internal absence if she happened to leave this earth. I love the thought and the definition of what a mother is and what her motherhood means to me more than the thoughts of her being my enemy or being someone I don't like. So I start to weigh out things, and that's a big step that I made. You know, when you're in an argument or you're in a disagreement with someone, you don't make the time to weigh out the pros and cons of the situation. You also don't make the time to weigh out the pros and cons of their relationship to you and vice versa. Because if you did, if we did, if I did, then I will realize what we are fighting over is worthless. Pettiness can never outweigh my love for my mother. Pettiness can never outweigh my love for my loved one. So am I willing to sacrifice my ego to show that? Am I willing to admit my wrongs to make things right? And after this whole situation, one of the scariest moments I've ever been in my life, thinking that I was going to lose my mom, and the last things I said to her will be things that I will regret for the rest of my life. After this moment, I realized, yes, I am willing to sacrifice my ego. I am willing to make things right by admitting my wrongs. And this also made me realize that tomorrow is not promised. Tonight is not promised. The next minute is not promised. And I'm not just talking about you, and I'm not just talking about me. I'm talking about for someone you really care about. Their future is not promised the next day. Their tomorrow is not promised. So what I learned from this experience is what I wanted to, tell y'all and share with y'all is that if you are able to make a situation right, especially if you are the one in the wrong, then please make sure you try your best to make things right. And trust me, it takes courage. It takes some breaking down of self. It takes doing things you're not used to. But if those are things that's going to make you a better person, if those are things that's going to heal your relationship with those who matter the most to you, then I believe it's worth it. Don't you? It's in those darkest, hopeless moments that the light bulb of realization becomes so bright. The answer becomes so clear. And from this day on, there is not going to be one single night that I'm going to go to bed angry. If I am beefing with somebody, on bad terms with someone that I care about, if I feel like there's a way to fix it, I'm going to try my best to fix it before I go to bed. Because I do not know if I have that opportunity tomorrow. And I do not know if they have that opportunity to hear me tomorrow. Let's make it right, family. So I appreciate y'all for being patient with me. I will be back with videos. I just need to take a break and recalibrate. But I also hope this was able to help you just a little bit on your journey as well. But once again, I did not mean to be a downer on your night, but I just wanted to pass this along to y'all. Once again, my mom she's doing much better, slow progress. So thank God for that. And thank God for y'all too, man. Like, I'm very thankful to have a platform and a space to talk to people like you. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. And thank you for rocking out with your guy, Sealz, the man. And as always, peace and blessings. Have a good night.